Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to try out the fox eye trend. I want to manipulate my brows and just use makeup to really kind of lift the eye. I don't want to use tapes or anything like that, and I just want to see if I can do the technique, teach you some easy ways, and then also see if I can achieve it, even though, you know, I have my brows microbladed, so we're going to have to kind of manipulate here and just kind of give you that lifted look like Bella Hadid, a lot of models on Instagram. So I've been seeing it all over. I do think it's really beautiful, but you do have to manipulate your brows and just a lot of eyeshadow techniques and stuff like that. So I just want to sit down and give it a go, see if we can achieve it. So if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and let's go ahead and start. So the first step, I am going to do my brows because I do want to kind of cover this up. I'm a little unsure because I know some people really bring it straight up. I don't want to look crazy. I'm going to go in with my M Cosmetics brunette brow cream. I love this just to kind of fluff my brows up. So I'm gonna really wiggle these up and try to lift as much as I possibly can. So you can see what that does for my brows. I love this brow cream. I think they have clear as well, but I like the tinted one. So I'm really pushing up. And the reason I'm doing this before foundation is because I do have to use concealer and foundation to cover the tail of my brow. And it has a pretty good hold too. So next I'm gonna take my Precisely My Brow in 3.5 from Benefit. And I'm nervous, but I wanna kind of draw this up to really lift my brow. So essentially these supermodel brows really kind of just lift straight up. I've seen it almost look a little bit crazy though, so I don't want to go too crazy. So I'm going to do more of a straight brow. So you can see I'm kind of mapping it out here. It looks wild, but I'm gonna have to cover that up. So that essentially my brow will be lifted rather than kind of coming down. So there's less of an arch and more of that lifted effect. Now I've actually seen people go straight up and I just don't think my face is set up that way. I just don't think, like I've seen Snitchery, she looks gorgeous with those brows that are like straight up. My face isn't set up for that. So we're gonna kind of work with what we got. So I have an outline for my brows. They're not perfect, but we're gonna work on it. So I'm gonna go in with this Good Molecule silicone-free priming moisturizer. This is just a really nice basic moisturizer. So for my T-zone, I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control Primer. I really like this for longevity, and it does have a little bit of like a smoothing property. So for my base, I want to use my Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Foundation or Face Tape. I like this. You can get this at Ulta. I can link it down below. I have the shade 29N. It's a little bit light, but once I bronze up, it'll be fine. So next I need to conceal and perfect the brows. So I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, Born This Way, in the shade Shortbread. I'm gonna apply some under the eye as I normally would. And then I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand and use a really small, like detailed brush to really clean up under the brow. I think I'm gonna use the Smith brush. So I'm just gonna really set this down and then I'm gonna blend it out. So you can see just from me applying that, how it's lifted the face. I'm gonna go in with this Tarte brush. I actually really like this to blend out this concealer. So I went ahead and set my face with my Too Faced Peach Perfect powder. Obviously, if I was gonna do this like every day with the brows, I would use like a glue stick or really try to conceal. I did my best just to conceal it, but we're just playing around. I'm not willing to shave off my brows, and also they're already microbladed, so there's nothing I can do other than learning more techniques in terms of how to cover it, because I can still see a little bit of that microblading, but we're working with what we got. So for the eyes, I wanna go into my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, and I wanna use this really light shade up here, and I'm gonna use this as my crease shade, and we're really going to bring it up high. So I'm using really light pressure, and I'm just going to apply this in the crease and kind of bring it down here a little bit. And I want to really fluff this up. So usually I would go down with my crease, but I really want to lift. Everything in this tutorial will be lifted. So I'm almost like putting this above my crease, not really in my natural crease, which if I didn't change up my brows, I would be getting into my brows here. So definitely the brow trick I think is very important. So next I want to go into the Tati Beauty palette, and I'm going to use the black. I really like this black. It's easy to work with, and I'm going to use this to do a wing, but I'm going to really focus it up. We're going to kind of try to get the wing to go up towards this brow, so very lifted. So I just used that shadow to really do a long, elongated wing, like really pulling the eye up. It's quite intense. And then I stopped about halfway through. So that's the first step. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on this eye as well. So now that we have the outline, I wanna go into the matte shade Soothe, just any light kind of tan shade, and a really small brush. And I'm gonna smoke over this black shadow that we put down. And then I'm gonna go into a deeper matte brown, which is Ritual from this palette, and do the same thing. So next I'm gonna do mascara. I'm gonna use my Givenchy. This is my Disturbia. I really like this. So I'm really gonna coat my lashes. We are gonna add falsies, but just in the outer kind of half of the eye to really give that winged effect. So you definitely want to kind of load on the mascara. So for lashes, I literally just grabbed these $6.72. I think these are they're a drugstore brand. I'll have to try to find them. And I just basically clipped off the outer edge. So I really have a tiny little lash that I'm going to sit just on the outer edge of my eye to really lift and give me that cat eye look. So I'm just gonna sit this on the way outer edge of the eye to really give me that kind of lifted effect. So lashes are on, and I really wanna sculpt out the face and give me those high cheekbones, really chiseled out contoured look. I'm gonna go into my Dior Backstage Contour Palette into the deepest shade here. Actually, I'm gonna mix these two, and I'm gonna use my Chikuhodo. This is the contour brush. It's incredible if you really wanna do like detailed work. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into my Jouer. This is a soft focus powder in dark to further kind of chisel out. And I'm sweeping everything up so I don't kind of drag down the face. Also gonna use some on my forehead. So for blush, I just wanna go with kind of like a neutral tone. I'm gonna use an oldie but a goodie. This is MAC Copper Tone. Usually I would go for like a really pink cheek, but I want something that's just gonna tie in kind of this like bronzy neutral look. So to highlight, I'm gonna use my Dior Backstage palette that I adore so much. This is one of my most used highlighting palettes. So to finish off the eyes, I'm gonna go back into the black in the Tati palette, and I wanna do like a tiny little cat eye in the corner of my eye. I find this to be difficult, especially if you try to kind of go too low. So I actually like to connect it right here first and then connect. So you'll see as I do it. So I kind of like to draw that line first. And then connect it. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips. I'm gonna use my Alamar Cosmetics Dolce Lip Liner. So for lipstick, I just want a neutral nude. I'm gonna go in with Staycation from Huda Beauty. So for the lower lash line, I'm actually gonna use that M Cosmetics brow cream, and I just wanna add a little tiny definition to the lashes. I don't wanna go in with a really dark black mascara. I'm also gonna do some freckles and beauty marks. I'm gonna use my Freck pen. I'm gonna go ahead and use a really hydrating setting spray. I love this. This is Farsali. This just gives the prettiest dew. All right, guys, so here is my finished makeup look, my version of the fox eye without using tapes or anything like that. I think the brows are the key, really lifting your brow even just a little bit like I did, not actually taking them all the way up, because I feel like everybody's face is different. You have to take into account your features. So just lifting that a little bit and then really lifting the eyeliner with the lashes on the outer corners, I feel like really give you that kind of foxy cat eye look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, I would love for you to subscribe. I'll have all the products linked down below. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.